Hey everyone, welcome to Founders Unfiltered. I'm Allan,
And I'm Eddie.
and we're two Korean bros building businesses, stacking real estate, and staying athletic while we do it.
Yep, in each episode, we share our weekly updates and a topic that we think will be useful for those trying to build businesses, expand their investment portfolios, and live for continuous improvement in all aspects of life.
And this week's episode will be about virtual assistants, teammates, and growing a business, and top automations for your business and life. And before we get into it, Eddie, how was your week?
My week was good, to say the least. I think this week I kind of slowed down a little bit just because I got sick. Obviously, every time I get sick, I feel like I always get humbled and realize that I can't always go at 100%.
Yeah.
And so I think I really just took a step back, and it's okay to slow down sometimes, and I think it was just a good reminder that I'm not invincible. And I really just focused on what I need to do for work. Took a step back on like the physical activities just because my body was still recovering. And then also just started to focus on my diet a little bit more. Felt like before, I know I was exercising a lot, and it just made me want to eat whatever I wanted or craved. So I decided to just chat GPT like a good plan to follow and what to eat each day according to what I do, whether I'm training or drilling or playing games or playing tournaments. So yeah, overall the week has been good. How's your week been?
Nice. Yeah. Before I go into my week, I feel like diet is just like it's so crazy, but yeah, what you eat, when you eat, and like the idea of like carbs like refueling your body or giving you energy and protein like giving you maintaining your muscle and building muscle. Like it's all stuff we know, but it's so hard to practice. I've been really like more conscious of my diet too and like eating a lot more protein than before and really trying to like stay away from junk food. Because like if you think about it, you're putting stuff in your body, and like all the sugar and the fat is supposed to digest and go somewhere. And it's like yeah, like I love chocolate, but all that chocolate in my veins is probably not good for me.
Yeah, it's
So
like that saying, you are what you eat. I
you
don't
literally are. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. I don't know if you're very similar to me, but I feel like before I had this plan. Obviously, I just felt like I didn't know what to eat all the time, so I just always ate out, and then also just went with my cravings.
Yeah.
So now that I kind of have a plan, I look at, okay, I'm drilling today. My breakfast, okay, it's oatmeal protein shake, and it's just like I can do variations of that now. Like
Mhm.
now that I kind of have a structure to it, and I'm like doing it with a purpose, it's so much easier.
Yeah.
Before I was just like, okay, what do I eat today? And it's that open-ended question just makes it so much harder to stick to a good diet. And
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
one thing
Having
I
a
realized.
plan is definitely helpful. I think one part that I always and okay, and I'll jump into my week too, but um I think eating consistent food is the easiest for tracking and knowing you're hitting all the nutrients you need. Like if every week you eat like, a a container of turkey and chicken and like rice and whatever, 12 eggs. Like I think that's the easiest way to go about it, but it does get a little repetitive, which I don't mind as much, but I know Christine definitely likes to eat new things and cook new things and try new things. Then that makes it harder to track at that point. So
Mhm.
it's kind of like a good balance between the two things. Yeah. Anyway, my week, I am officially back to marathon training. Again, I was training for a little bit, and then I was having Achilles pain after like every run. Dude, I just need to accept this. Stretching is just so freaking important. Because I started stretching, and then the pain went away. So it's like I should just discipline myself and stretch my calves and my Achilles after every run. It's not even just after the runs, in the mornings, at night, throughout the day. Because I ran 8 miles yesterday, and I felt pretty good, no pain, like it was awesome. But this morning, I stretched a little bit, but maybe not enough because this morning I woke up with a little bit of soreness. So today's the Sunday recovery day. Um, yeah, it's a long 18-week training cycle, but I'm hoping to stay healthy throughout it. I'm hoping to stretch a lot and eat a lot. So that was for like the fitness side of the week. And then one quick business update is I was talking to this guy at my dog park, and he has a big YouTube channel. He's a math tutor, and he has like 100K followers on YouTube. And he was asking me like, "Oh, how's your like business YouTube going?" And I was like, "Dude, honestly, like I dread making videos. Like I just can't get myself to do it. Like I told my team I'm gonna make 2 videos this week, and I didn't make any." And he was like, "Yeah, like you really have to fall in love with the process and like just make it so baked into your routine that it's not like a chore for you, but it's almost like you feel like antsy without making if you don't make a video. Kind of like, how we've gotten to a point with our workout routines where if we don't work out, then we know like we're kind of missing something.
Hmm.
And he was like, you got to love what you do. Otherwise, you should think about whether that's the right thing to do or not. And I was like, and he's a smart guy. He has a law degree. He has a very good math business, and now he's like starting another like UFC like um commentating business that he really loves to do. He does things he loves to do.
Mm.
And yeah, something that just kind of made me think. And we're experimenting with a different way of recording YouTube videos that I do find a lot more easy to do. So we might do more of that, but yeah, just something to think about. You gotta love what you're doing.
True that.
Yeah.
No, I like what he said because I feel like for me, when I'm trying to do videos like consistently, I do feel
Mhm.
antsy when I'm not working or editing on stuff. And I have
Mhm.
kind of fallen in love with the process of editing and figuring out because it really is like your own craft where it can be anything you want, but
Mhm.
then sometimes your vision doesn't really end up going on the screen as well. And I think
Yeah.
I'm just learning how to reiterate that process and just make it better too, and not have to always, I don't know, start from scratch or, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. On the other hand of that though, on the other side of that, I do think everyone needs to at least give it a try or stick it out for long enough to be able to decide, do you love doing this, or do you actually hate doing this? Or yeah, or like have you just is there a way you can do it slightly differently? Like I even though I hated making the business YouTube videos, that I did put in the last 2 years into it, and like it's gotten a lot of traction. And it's whenever I meet someone new in the Braves community, they're always like, "Oh, I've seen your videos before." I'm like, "Okay, great. Like it's working. It's getting in front of people." So I'm glad I did it. And now that it's gotten to a point where it's tough for me to make videos, maybe I reconsider. But yeah, I do think everyone needs to at least give it a solid shot.
Yeah. And I think there is like a fine line between doing what you like and also doing it for people that watch you. I don't know.
Mhm.
Like for me, like I think I know that I don't get a lot of views,
Yeah.
but I like doing it, and I don't really care if it does get views. And I think
Yeah.
that's what keeps me going. But if you like don't even like it, then I don't see like what can motivate you to like it. You know what I mean? Like, because if I didn't enjoy my stuff, like I wouldn't be doing it at all. Because I mean, no
Exactly.
views, yeah. But if it's views that's getting you to keep doing it, is that a good foundation?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's always like the vanity metrics. Like, are you doing it for the money? Are you doing it for, the popularity, the views? I think if you do it for the right reason, like it'll naturally come to you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking of YouTube videos, before we jump in, I posted my, I have a personal channel. I've been posting random YouTube videos. The one I posted last night is at 278 views, which is the most I've ever gotten
Hey yo.
on a YouTube video. I've never gotten more than 100 views. So I woke up to it and I was like, whoa. Like, and I
Hey,
posted it
nice.
last night right before I went to sleep. So I was like,
Hmm.
okay, like
What's it about?
it's me cleaning my room. Yeah,
I swear, people love random shit like that.
dude, seriously.
That's funny.
So yeah. All right. Should we jump into our weekly deep dive topic?
Yeah, let's do it. First topic is virtual assistants, right?
Yes.
So I guess my main question, and I'll ask a lot of sub questions, is when did you start using virtual assistants and how did you find them?
It's been about like more than 2 years at this point, I think. Here I have my first virtual assistant, like team anniversary date written down. But I think I was just listening to a lot of like entrepreneur YouTube videos and just always the advice of outsource the work that you can, and find assistants that can help you like do the small things for you. And I was really finding myself doing very like simple repetitive tasks, things like sending invoices or sending emails. It can be in any aspect of your life where I'm like clicking buttons. I'm like, okay, can I teach like someone else to do this? If the answer is yes, then maybe you should think about how do I get someone else to do this for me. um, and the first virtual assistant started 2.5 years ago, so we've been going strong. And then I brought on a second one last year, about a year ago at this point. Onlinejobs.ph is definitely where it's the most popular website for finding VAs based in the Philippines. I think there's other websites that are popular for other countries, and there's other websites that kind of already have great VAs found for you, and you pay a higher fee, but you don't need to worry about like training them, or they always have a backup for you or things like that. So there's a whole industry of like virtual assistants for sure.
What was it called again? Online.
Onlinejobs.ph.
I'm writing that down.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Because I'm just going through my interview process, and my God, I don't know, just haven't found like
Yeah.
I haven't found a candidate that I really liked. But
Mm-hmm.
also, my work is a little different, and I guess this is a question I had for you too. How how much do you trust your VAs
Mm.
per se? Because I think with my work, if I were to outsource a lot of the little things that I do, I would have to be giving out passwords, like
Yeah.
username and passwords, and I
Yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't know if I could trust that. And then also, I have I don't know, commitment issues, or I'm just scared like they're gonna leave. That they're not gonna be there forever. So it's just in my head, it's like, okay, might as well just do it myself. So I
It's
don't know.
so that's definitely a huge topic. I gave him trust little by little over time for sure. And I may be on the more risky end of things, but they have all my passwords, all my credit cards, they have my social security, they have literally have everything. I think I think I try to make them make their own accounts as much as I can, but there are some things where I just can't. I had to give them my password. So I do have a team universal password that everybody knows that it's the password for all of our shared team accounts. And I do have a lot of shared accounts. Like the Riverside account is under our team account for my business. I have a separate
Mm,
business Riverside.
mm.
Like our like screen recording tool Loom is a shared team account. Any software we buy is on our shared team account with a shared password. I did have my VAs sign some contract, but honestly, like I don't even know what that contract will do. Like they're in the Philippines. If they really were malicious and like change my passwords, and well, also nowadays with two factor, I can tell them my password, but I always have to let them in. And if they ever were to like change a password, I would be notified. So I'm not worried about that. They do have access to my business bank too. So like
And
if
credit
they
cards and
yeah,
social
so if they
security.
try
That's
buying
crazy.
something, I actually have no idea like what that's gonna look. But you honestly build that trust over the years. Like I actually feel really close to both my VAs. Like we have monthly chats and like I don't know. It's without that trust, it's pretty tough to get them fully integrated.
Yeah.
And I also asked another business owner who I know has a VA, and he also said like, yeah, my VA could steal my life if she wanted to. Like I trust my VA with everything, and I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. Like other VAs trust them too. I don't think they have a lot of benefit or like to like yeah, I don't think it's worth doing anything bad. Like they as long as they enjoy and their working style like meets what they're looking for, like I think I pay them well. I don't overwork them at all. So I think they're happy with their situation, and it comes over time, but yeah, you need to give them your information.
Yeah, that sounds like I don't know, I'm scared of that. But at
Try
the
like
same time, it's a
yeah,
trade-off, right? I
yeah.
mean, it's could be very helpful, especially if you trust someone that much. I'm curious, for these VAs, did you do background checks on them? Did you interview them and hire them, or did someone just send you these people and you went with them?
I interviewed them. I like made a posting or I like looked up certain criteria and their rates, and then I like reached out and said, "Hey, let's do a Zoom call." And I when I first was looking, I Zoom called. I talked about five VAs, and the first one, and one of them just stood out to me really clearly. First of all, her English was the best, and she just had the best personality. She was like very like willing to learn and just very personable. And it just felt right. And then we started working together on like small things, and then just so one month after another, it's been 2.5 years, and I definitely trust her with pretty much everything at this point. So she's the one that's helping us post these short clips on our Founders Unfiltered channels. Like she's
Okay,
even
gotcha.
helping
That's
manage
cool.
our channel. So we got to be
Wow.
nice to her, because if not,
Yeah,
she'll
no,
delete her
thank you
video.
so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you. That's kind of cool. So,
Yeah.
how many hours a week do you think they're working? Do you have two of them working at the same time, or did you just
Mhm.
switch?
I have them on an hourly basis. So I have the first one working 2 hours per day, Monday to
Okay,
Friday. And then the second
gotcha.
one's working 4 hours per day, Monday to Friday. And for like a long time, they both had no work to do. I just like, you really have to find work and be active about like giving them daily stuff. But
Hmm.
like I was okay with it. But you got to get okay with it. And I think the just honestly the price like difference for cost of living in the Philippines versus US puts a lot less pressure on us business owners, because I started out paying them five an hour for both of them, $5 an hour, and then I
Hmm.
give them a 50-cent raise every 6 months. Um, so now the first one's at like seven something, the second one's at like 5.50 or maybe $6
Hmm.
at this point.
Yeah.
But it's like a low enough rate where we feel comfortable even if they didn't have any work. I'm okay with it. I'm happy if they're happy. If they're happy just taking the paychecks and they had a light week or even light month, I'm okay with it. But when I do need the help, they like definitely reciprocate and they definitely help out and put in the work. So like it's been a very win-win situation for both of us.
Okay, and so you're basically paying them like a salary. It doesn't really matter if they work the full hours or not. You're paying them regardless.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah. Just because if any of my customers were to ever ask me to submit a timesheet, I would really not like that. And I'm
course.
trying to follow the same principle and
Yeah.
philosophy. So like, I don't. It's pretty much like a retainer, pretty much a weekly retainer. We have you for
Yeah.
10 hours a week or 20 hours a week. If you can, yeah. If there's not enough work, fine. If there's more work, push it to next week. Yeah.
Hmm. And then they're also both of them are in the Philippines. What's the time difference like?
Yeah, so they are actually used to working like graveyard shifts or midnight shifts where like the time difference is pretty huge. Like the second VA logs in at 4 a.m. his time, which is 1 p.m. my time. Um but I also try to make it so that a lot of the work can be done like separately, like offline asynchronously. I do ask for a little bit of overlap during like a reasonable time. So my first VA logs in like 5 to 7 p.m. my time. And but they're willing to log in whenever you need them to for the most
Hmm.
part. And then I think I like ask about their daily like personal schedule, and they both have other part-time or full-time jobs too. Like on other like VA commitments. Like they have more than one some usually.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next. Are they pretty transparent with that? Like, do you know how many other clients they have as well?
I think they usually just have about one or two others, or just
Okay.
like one other. It's usually like they have a full time 8 hour, but even
Mhm.
that job is from what they described doesn't take 8 hours. So a lot of times they're like they can get it done in less and whatever. So then and they were transparent with it, and they're always and then it's about the process you set up. So I have them send a check-in message every day at the start of their shift and a checkout message at the end of their shift. So even if I go a full week without really communicating with them and checking up on like what their work is doing, they leave a daily update on when they checked in, what they did, and when they checked out. I just need to check our channel where they leave their daily messages, and I have every single day's update there. So building that process was huge. Building that trust was huge. I asked them like, when do you sleep, and like how's your other job, and like I try to adjust our hours to kind of make it easier for them, because I know my first VA, she was working like 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. for a different commitment.
Yeah.
And then she was working, she took a 30-minute break and worked 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. with me. And I was like, are you okay? Like, does that work for you?
Jeez.
And I was like, feel free to change up your schedule so that you can, log in a little bit later or however it works best for you. So
Yeah. No,
I try to
that's
be reasonable.
crazy. They're like robots. And
But I
then
mean,
also,
it's kind of like nurses working like night shifts. It's not much different
uh,
than that. And
yeah,
actually, the first VA was a nurse, so she's used to that schedule. So
gotcha.
those people who work overnights just pretty much sleep during the day and work at night. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And then probably if we do have any viewers, they're probably wondering, dude, $5 an hour? That's crazy.
yeah.
Like, is it because the US dollar is so strong, or like is that a lot for them? You know?
I
Like
think that's the currency. It's the rate. I asked her like, how does this rate compare to your rate? Because the first VA used to be a nurse. She said the $5 an hour paid more than how much she made as a nurse in the Philippines.
that's
I'm like,
nuts.
dude,
That's
I'm
what
so happy to pay you more than what you used to
yeah.
make in your old role. And now she's at 7, so hopefully that rate is stronger. I know the rates can go higher, and the longer they stay with us, the more they'll make. But they like 5 seems to be a very like reasonable rate for them. So yeah, and if that's the case, I'm happy to pay them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mhm. 'Cause $5 an hour here, just you can't survive off that. So it's
No,
just
not
yeah,
at all.
different
But
different worlds. Yeah.
I think like other countries too, like Mexico, India, Indonesia,
Mhm.
Philippines. Like I've seen rates as low as like 250 an hour. I think that is actually on the lower end. But yeah, like that's just economic. It's the economic arbitrage that makes it work, I guess.
Yeah.
So
And I don't know if you mentioned it earlier. Why did you choose the Philippines? Did you research like what countries or areas you wanted to do before?
I looked at a few. Honestly, online jobs is the only place where they let you work directly with the VAs.
Hmm.
So you pay a $50 fee, like monthly fee, to be able to reach out to somebody. So I paid it for 1 month, and I did all my like research and like interviewing, and I found one, and I canceled that monthly thing. So you do pay like a $50 per month like subscription to be able to or to be able to contact, versus the other places that I saw were like you either had to have an hourly minimum, like you had to buy them for or hire them for 20 hours per week or 40 hours per week. Um, or like their rates were much higher because it was already like vetted VAs. So
Hmm.
they kind of did a little bit more work for you, and then they like, put a premium on it. So online jobs.ph is very popular too. Like a lot of people use it. So yeah,
Hmm.
Reddit suggested it.
Gotcha. Nice. I'm trying to think. I mean, you've answered all the questions that I had, so I'm curious. What is the craziest thing you've asked one of your VAs to do?
Um, People ask all sorts of things. It depends on the process you have and your trust with them. But I know like some VAs like set up like dinner dates for
I was
for
gonna
their
ask, but
yeah.
do they do that for you and Christine? Like,
I
do they
haven't
send
asked her
flowers to
yet. I
Christine?
know that if I did though, like she would definitely find a few recommendations. I don't know if Christine has a very high standards for restaurants, so that might be tough. But like yeah, like VAs could set up dates, send gifts. I don't know if I'm sure VAs can make phone calls too. I do need to ask my VAs. So it's like if they can call some like hospital or restaurant or whatever and ask quick questions. That would be super helpful. But the most recent thing that I did was so I got picked for jury duty. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't do jury duty. So I like I wanted to figure out how to like delay or postpone or cancel it. But even that process was quite a bit. You have to go on their website and fill out a bunch of forms and like research whatever. So I asked my VA, can you help look into how to delay my jury duty? And then he would just send me screenshots of the form and say, hey, can you answer these things? It's like my social security and a bunch of questions like, have you committed a crime before? And blah, blah, blah. And like, I agree to, not telling false information. And then I would respond, even though it's a lot of back and forth and it takes longer than if I were to do it myself. Still, like our VA is able to help offload that time commitment by a lot for me. So I just had
Mhm.
to answer a Slack question, and then he got it done. And then I'm like, great. He's like, okay, your jury duty's delayed to January next year. I'm like, amazing, thank you. And then Christine got her jury duty. And then I was like, okay, can you do the exact same process for Christine? Because you've done it once. You actually know how to do this now. And he got
Yeah.
it done much faster, much less back and forth. So like building on top of previous process and just that felt awesome. It was like, okay, like I love that it wasn't just a one-off thing, that he was able to do it again the next time. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, talk like hearing this from you, a lot of thoughts in my head are turning. I feel like there are so many little things that I deal with that I feel
Mhm.
like I put on my list of tasks to do that can definitely be outsourced if someone else had like my credit card information, like booking
Yeah.
flights, booking tournaments, or buying something on Amazon. Like yeah, I don't know.
I think I know you were looking for a personal assistant that was kind of like all around, like doing everything. But
Yeah.
honestly, I think finding one in-person videographer and then
Hmm.
separately a VA
Yeah.
might not be a bad idea.
Yeah.
And I mean I could see if my VA is available for more hours if you want to try working with either of them, because I trust them. So at least like the trust factor is right there.
Hmm.
So we could try that too.
Okay. Yeah, I'll follow up with you on that.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that's all the questions I had on VAs. Did you have anything else that you want to touch on?
Um No, I think for maybe related to VAs and automations, we can maybe go to our third topic first before we talk about the business part, the teammates in the business part. But like I mentioned a few times, I think process has been pretty crucial. So it's a lot of, I automate as much as I possibly can, and I think I'm pretty good at automations. I use Zapier like crazy. I should really check out Make too. Apparently, Make is also another helpful thing.
What's
There,
Zapier? Sorry, I
it's an
don't know what.
automation tool.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, we should actually, good question. We should explain. Zapier is like an automation software that easily syncs to like Gmail, Google Docs, Google Calendar, but not just the Google Suites, like all the other things. Like I always check, like, does it have a Riverside integration? Does it have an Opus Clip integration? Because it's synced to a bunch of random software.
Hmm.
Um, so for example, when someone fills out one of our my For Now Marketing Business website testimony Google Forms, it alerts our internal Slack channel saying, "Hey, someone filled it out. Here's a checklist. Like, go finish like uploading on the website." Um, Someone fills out a Google Forms, and then it's our process to take what they said and put it on our Squarespace website. That last part can't be automated. There's no like automation for Squarespace, at least not a simple way. So
Hmm.
then it's usually the last stretches or just the parts that can't be automated where our VA step in. So it's a mixture of automation and the last human touch that the VAs provide that makes it a powerful combination.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
times I work with feeds, like channel feeds, like feeds with task items, or like new member, new teammate onboarding. If a new teammate onboards, I have another channel for that with a checklist of things they need to do, and then links to all the resources that I provided on instructions on how to do those things.
Gotcha.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, it's a whole thing. Like it's like a whole
Hmm.
operations workflow, I think.
That tool sounds very good for people who are in startups, or I guess like trying to build a team and a process like hub, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even just for small businesses like ours. Like I've seen like my first company after I left teaching, we relied our entire like payment system on Zapier. Like
Really?
it played a huge part of our like user paying process where like yeah, Zapier was crucial. So it can definitely automate a lot of like even big companies use it for small things. One of my biggest customers who is like a publicly traded healthcare company uses it where on a Slack message, if you emoji react with a certain emoji, it creates an internal ticket to like look into it. So it's like maybe like emoji react with a question mark, and then like internally there's like an IT test created to like look into it. Like
Okay.
all companies use it, or companies of all types use it for sure. Yeah, I'm doing a Zapier ad right now. Zapier should pay us for this. But I applied for a job there once, got immediately rejected, and I was like, man, you're missing out, Zapier. But I
Zap,
still use it.
Zapier, I'm gonna look into that as well. That's pretty cool. First time I'm hearing about it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess, okay, since we went to topic 1 and 3, we can go into 2. How is your team doing?
Yeah, team is good. And I think this topic I was particularly interested in talking about because I think when I first left the corporate world, I left with a lot of bitter sentiment, thinking like, man, like I provide so much value for this company, but they pay me so little. And like how can they like always try to like squeeze out as much as you can from every employee, like and I really didn't appreciate the idea of like businesses using employees to make money out of them. Um, but I thought about that more, and that's just like a negative way of framing it. That's literally what a business is. Like you hire people, and if the people and the person you hired isn't bringing more revenue than you're paying them, you're literally it's a donation to the person. Like you're that's a negative like return from that employee. And that's just not how businesses grow. Like businesses grow by hiring people that can provide more value. But it's supposed to be a win-win thing because the employee, you know, usually the employee can usually never do that without the help of the bigger business or the brand. It's like, for example, like you used to work at Accenture, right? And you used to be an Accenture consultant. And you might have thought, oh man, Accenture like bills the customers like $300 an hour, but only pays me like 100 an hour.
Not
Um,
even
okay,
30.
yeah, but then like if I were to ask you, oh, why don't you just go find that customer by yourself and work directly with them? Like you would never be able to like work directly with that customer because these are world like mega enterprise brands that only trust Accenture, not like
Yeah.
any of the consultants within them.
Hmm.
um, and then from there you gained a great experience of learning Workday, and now you're able to like start this Workday business. So I think I now that I'm on the employer side of building a business, I realized how maybe like immature or young or naive mindset that was, like being so bitter at the corporate world. um or maybe I'm just saying that because now I'm on the employer side, but I think there's a balance though. Like you do
Hmm.
need to treat your teammates well. I think I looked it up. The metric is something like 2.5 to 5x revenue returns on how much the employee is getting paid. So if you're paying someone 100K, they should be bringing in 250 to 500K. Beyond that is when they start to get burnt out and maybe working too much.
Hmm.
That's the typical metric for the consulting world. Now people at like OpenAI are, I think they're bringing like millions per employee. So it's like I think software is like on a whole new scale, but in the service world, I heard 2.5 to 5x is like a good spot. So
Hmm.
thinking about stuff like that and trying to build a business where everyone is happy and
Yeah.
understands it's a mutually beneficial relationship, and that I am not just trying to make the most as I can from each teammate, but still pushing them to generate as much as they can while still feeling energized and yeah, not burnt out.
Gotcha. How many teammates do you have, and how did you find them?
So I have two like full-time committed teammates, and then I actually have three contract partners at this point.
Oh, okay.
So these are people that maybe either have a full-time job already, or they're working with me on just like a part-time basis, on like one customer basis. Um, dude, it's like where you meet people is kind of crazy. So the first one that I met at Koreatown Run Club. I literally went out running, and after I finished running, I went with a friend, but my friend had to leave early, so I just joined the random group of friends, and we're just talking. And this guy was like, "Yeah, I just finished coding boot camp, and I'm looking for a job right now." He was a cool guy, nice guy. We talked for a little bit, and I was like, "Okay, for our industry, we need people with engineering, like technology background." And he said he's looking for work, like, like, and I have some work I could definitely use some help with. So I just thought for him, why would he say no? Like, some work is better than no work. And then we talked, we got dinner, we talked for many days, and then now he's been working with me for over a year and a half, and he's one of my good friends in LA. So
Mhm.
Run Club was crazy.
Korea Run
Um,
Club
yeah,
or
Koreatown
Korean
Run
Run Club.
Club.
Okay, gotcha.
Um, I know after that encounter, I'm like, man, maybe I need to go to KRC more often and check out who else is out there that's like, a talented person who's looking for work, who's very like personable and good to talk to. So
Hmm.
I might check out KRC a little bit more.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Second one was someone I met at Braze. He was actually still at Braze, and we just kept in touch. And he's also a very like very into real estate, very into fitness. This dude is like a model. He's like so fit. He was a basketball player in high school. He's like super tall.
Mm-hmm.
And one common pattern I noticed for the first two teammates is if they are very athletically disciplined and more so than I am, that's like people I want to be around. Like they like we work out as a team sometimes whenever we meet up, and they're
Hmm.
both like so much more fit than I am. They're like helping me and training me, and I'm like, this is great. It's a mutual, reciprocated
Yeah.
relationship. They help me with fitness. I help them with their careers and business, and it's like having teammates that can fill in areas where you lack is crucial, I think.
Hmm.
um and then the rest, I met another one at the gym at LA Fitness. That's one of our part-time contractors. The other one was another old coworker, and the other one I've met on LinkedIn. So very random places.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it seems like the majority of the people that you've hired or met was in person, right?
Mm,
Or, well, the Braze guy, was that, did you
actually,
work with him?
yeah, everybody
Yeah,
was
right?
in person.
Yeah.
um Everybody was in person. The only guy that I met on LinkedIn who was online happens to live in LA. So I
Hmm.
did meet up with him in person to get coffee just to confirm,
Yeah.
that we were both like a good fit for each other, and he's decent. And then he started work with us just last week, and then he's crushing it. So, yeah.
Hmm.
I guess everybody has been in person, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm curious, what is your team dynamic like? Do they all like, are they scared of you? Do they think of you as like a bro? Do they mess with you? You know?
Yeah, I think more on the latter. I do think we have a very like I love this, but I know it can't go forever. We definitely have like a bro culture for sure because it is all guys right now, and that's not intentional. It's just I do have some like women partners that I'm talking to that I think
Mhm.
would be a great fit too. We just haven't had the opportunity to like start on a customer, but right now, yeah, we're all guys near the same age, that all love fitness, and it's been really awesome to have that like team culture where like we can joke with each other, we can like go on a trip and stay in the same Airbnb, and like that's like it's easier that way. And we did a hackathon together for 36 hours a few weeks ago, and like yeah, i I don't think they're like scared of me, but they respect me for sure, which I appreciate. I respect them back. I do. Christine always tells me this, just to think about like the fine line between like being friends with your team versus keeping it as a teammate relationship.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's tough because they are truly my friends. I do like talking to them, but at the same time, they are also my teammates, like, in a business setting too. And it's
Hmm.
like, where do I draw that line? Or yeah, so it's something I think about a lot.
Yeah. Are you hanging out with them outside of work?
With the guy that lives in LA, yeah, here and there.
Hmm.
Sometimes we hang out to do work together. Sometimes we go to the gym together. Sometimes he
Hmm.
visits me at the dog park. And yeah, we do hang out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah.
Have you has anyone ever gotten out of line and you had to go like all CEO on them yet? Have you yelled at anybody yet? Or like gotten super
No,
serious with someone yet? No?
it's never gotten to that point. I'll do a lot of feedback sessions. So if I let
Mhm.
me chew my food, if I see that any of my teammates did something that I think we could have a discussion on, um, we'll do a quick feedback session. It's never been that bad to a point. It's more of a feedback session or a coaching session. They're both very receptive.
Yeah.
I look at where my team, both my full time teammates were when they first started to now, and just like all the little like micro skill sets and behaviors, just in the words that we use and like the way we say things, like they've really like adapted to like our team like values and team principles, and like they're definitely following like our team branding like a textbook. So I
That's
love
good.
it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think all the coaching sessions one by one over the years has led up to that point.
Mhm. You gotta get them to drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, they're pumping
For
out
sure.
Kool-Aid now. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is just a joke I say because I think I remember working with like Amazon and everyone there, they drink the Kool-Aid. They're all like on the
Mm,
Amazon train, and I don't know. It's crazy because I think that's what creates organizations like that. Like a lot
mhm,
of people that have very similar trainings and mindsets where they all believe in like what they're being told.
mhm,
Essentially,
mhm.
it's kind of like a cult a little bit. Uh,
It's like, yeah, that's how you create that strong environment. Yeah, the cult, I guess. Team branding, team sentiment, team culture,
mhm.
I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah.
Um,
How about you? I'll pass it to you for maybe to wrap us up. Like, no, you've worked with you have a lot of like employees at your family business. You've like had
mhm.
to hire. I think you've even had to fire before too. What's
Yeah.
your kind of overall perspective on hiring and growing a business?
For me, I feel like I've seen. That's a good question. Because, with my parents' business, I'm not very involved with it as much, but I do still help out the current employees there, like help them create job letters, help them with their W-2s. And there's two or three very dedicated workers at City Fashions. And I don't know why they stay. Like my dad isn't like the nicest guy, and they're not treated that well, and it's a different world in city fashions because when I was heavily involved, I was hiring to try to outsource as much as possible.
Hmm.
But I think me and my dad's mindsets just kind of clashed where he was very okay with being in his little box. I was like, how can we expand? How can we outsource little things so I don't have to have my mom work every Sunday, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
And I think when I did hire a few people, like managing those people at a retail store, it's it's like a babysitting job, really.
Yeah.
Like trying to get them all to come on time on their shifts, trying to figure out like, oh, if someone calls off sick this day, like who can cover,
Yeah.
it made me really dislike that side of the business,
Mm.
people managing.
Yeah.
So I honestly think that in your situation where you're like building a business with other people and you kind of consider them equals, obviously like you started the whole thing, but you're
Hmm.
enabling them to grow, you're giving them a really good opportunity to learn and grow. And I think for me, like when I see that, I think that's the best way to build a business instead of
Hmm.
just trying to squeeze every penny you can out of an
Yeah.
employee or
Yeah.
out of an individual. Um, and I think in the consulting, I know I've been like a lone wolf for a while, and I just like
Hmm.
working by myself. But I I am a really good team member. Like if I have a team to work with on the consulting end, like I get the job done with them, and we make good progress together. But I don't know why I can't figure that out with my consulting, like independent consulting gig.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm just stuck between like not wanting to people manage and also just trying to find ways to do things by myself so I don't have to deal with that headache.
Yeah.
And
How about a partnership? Like, do you know any other Workday consultants that you can go into a project together?
yeah, I think with partnerships, you need the same mindset. And I think a lot of the people that I work with, I mean, there are a few that are like me, obviously, and I think they're not really interested in a partnership, but I've considered it. But a lot of them, they're just trying to put in the hours and clock out and at the end of the day. And I think I was kind of like that too. And it's a big commitment to like, I don't know, start a partnership as well. And I don't know. I don't think I want that. I think that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say. Yeah, it's just not something I wanted. It's something I considered, but then thought like, I don't know if I want to be in Workday forever. I don't know if this is
Mm,
what I want to keep doing. I think you know a lot about how I feel about Workday. I just
yeah.
want to do the bare minimum, make my money, and do other things in my life and enjoy my life.
Yeah. I think if it's just if it's really just like a income generator to allow you to do other things, staying keeping it by yourself is totally fine. There's a
Yeah.
lot of headaches you avoid by staying alone. A lot of admin stuff, like you don't need documentation because it's you yourself versus like I need to document everything because I need to share it with my team. Um,
And the
just
downside, I guess, of my way is that I don't make money if I don't work.
exactly. It's like you
Yeah,
are,
which brings me back to like, oh man, should I build a team? Should I,
yeah.
like I don't know. It's a constant
I,
cycle of I'm doing this because I'm doing it for a reason. I'm doing this for me, and then I'm like, shit. Like there are some downsides to my path for sure.
there's always pros and cons to everything. Yeah, I was talking to another guy who's very similar to me, but for a different software called Clavio. He's a Clavio consultant. This was back when I was alone too. He and
Hmm.
I were just saying like he said we are you and I are both just very expensive plumbers. Like if we don't work, we don't get paid, and when we work, we can charge a lot, but like
Yep.
we're just like a contractor. We're a plumber. And I was like, he's like, we don't have a plumbing business. We are the plumbers ourselves. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're so right.
It's so true.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
plumbers are
dude,
going to
I
be the next
mean,
millionaires, though.
huh?
Plumbers, HVAC technicians, they're all going to be the next millionaires.
Yeah, that's true. AI can't fix that.
Yeah, true.
Um, but yeah, I mean, on the growing a business too, like the moment you kind of start to scale and start to grow, like I can't even imagine like we're at a certain revenue point, and now I can't even imagine going backwards anymore. Even if I wanted to slow
Mhm.
down or like, you know, take smaller projects, like no, we're at this point, and the only way to go is up. Even if I don't want to go up, I do want to go up right now, but let's say later down the line, I'm like, ah, I want to like just take it easier, like now I
Yeah,
can't because now you have teammates. Now you have other people who are once I convince like this is our goal and we're gonna keep growing and like we need your help.
yeah, for
So
sure. It definitely forces accountability on you. It
yeah,
is kind of all in your hands. Whereas
yeah,
for in my situation, I'm okay with letting me down.
yeah. Or like if you're on an easier week, you can have that, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things. That's life.
Hmm.
Pros and
Yeah.
cons. Yeah.
Also, yeah, I guess to close it out too, I think one thing I do love listening to your process and how you're dealing with and how you're growing your business. Cause I think that is one thing that I've always thought about going towards, like a path that I wanted to go towards. But it's nice kind of just living vicariously through you and hearing how you're going through it. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot. And if I were to go that way, I feel like I know that what you're going through is going to help me through that too.
Yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure. When that if or when that day ever comes, I will share everything I know, and yeah, thank you for that comment. It's definitely good to get validated, and yeah, like I don't even know if how I'm going about it is the right way, but I think as long as you're doing something and you're learning along the way, that's the most important. Like we're not
exactly.
always going to be right, and it's not always
Hmm.
going to be efficient either.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
All
Yeah, I
right.
think we could wrap it up there. Yeah, thanks
Yeah.
everyone for listening to Founders Unfiltered. If this helped follow and subscribe and drop a comment with what you want next.
And you can find our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or you can also find us on Instagram or TikTok at Founders Unfiltered Pod.
All right, nice. We'll see you guys on the next episode.
See ya.